What's going on, everybody? I'm Wade Elliott, R&B pop singer, songwriter, and rapper, coming back at you with another inside look. Now, this inside look is going to be on, of course, my latest single, and that is The Drug, that is either out right now or it's about to drop. Can't figure out when I'm going to drop this, but hey, we're here for the inside look, period. So let's take a look at what's going on. So, before I put in my password here, let me block y'all from watching my password. Anyway, so before I go any further into the production here and get started here, is that The Drug is about someone who is addicted to, of course, your sexual adventures, and that is being with your significant other, partner, loved one, husband, wife, what have you. Goes with being in a relationship versus being in a single, lone wolf, bachelor, however you want to put it, that single lifestyle. And it goes back and forth between, doesn't go back and forth, but it goes with in between those type of lifestyles in that. And the drug being, you know, the sexual activity and just needing it all the time. So it's kind of like it's like one person kind of looking back and seeing what those different, how that was. One's more safe because, of course, you have your significant other and, you know, the person you love very, very much, and then you have the other person who's just random people, maybe somebody who you're lusting over who already has, you know, established relationship as well. You know, you listen to the song and you, of course, will figure that out. But again, music is subjective, so it's really all about the listener, what they think and feel. So I really hope this is focusing, because I am not doing a really good job here. All my settings got messed around when we were filming a music video for The Drug, actually, so I'm hoping everything is okay. Without further ado, let's get into The Drug. So, going into here, we got all my tracks. The ones that are not, the ones that are colored are the actual instrumental, which again, you can see here that it is Page Turner. If you zoom in, it's Page Turner who also did this beat as well. He did all the other 3 beats that I put out. Do It Again, The Narrative, The Drug, and At the Gathering. Those are the 4 he's done, and yeah, he's done a great job. So again, shout out to you, Page Turner. And yeah, all this stuff. And of course as well, all right here, the small ones. And then of course down here are all my vocal tracks, which are also broken down right here. All the gray ones, it's all the harmonies. These are all harmonies, and my vocals, boom, boom, boom. Again, if you know me, I just record and go, you know, try to get stuff and out and get going. And of course, it looks almost the same here. First, actually, here is a little less organized as well. All my stuff's unorganized. I'm sure some of y'all out there are like, God dang, man, organize your stuff. Let us mute all these vocal tracks real quick. And let's just get into the beat. So let's just pick a random spot. I'm gonna hit the exact, try to do the exact middle, and I'll play this for you. So here we go. So, alright, so that's let me get in the screen here. So that is technically the beat right there. Again, Page Turner, you helped me with the track. I appreciate you and the work that you did. And of course, I actually mixed it. As you can hear, I'm going to break down right now. If you aren't familiar with how this inside looks, I'm going to go through the beat, break it down, how I did it. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments here down below, or you can shoot me a DM. I love to talk about this stuff. I love this shit. So I'm going to zoom back in, and we're going to dissect this beat real quick. Alright, here we go. So let's start with, of course, the sample. There we go. So you can see there's a sample there that he used, which is, I think it's only 2 samples that he used. This one, and then it's the same one up pitched, which is right here. So if we play it back, I'll turn it up a little bit so make sure y'all can hear it. And then it switches up. Some is sped up as well. Almost has a clock. But yeah. And then of course, I don't know where you possibly got that sample from, but it's dope as shit. And of course I just took out whatever was around it, just made it as clear as possible, just boosting a little bit of the mids. And then this sample is mostly used in his song. It's mostly used as kind of like to build tension. And then of course the hit is with the high pitch part. So I'll take up the high, and that's what you can hear. So, moving on to, of course, you got your hi-hat, which I want a straight hi-hat, which I haven't panned in the middle. In this one, for some reason, I mostly take the hi-hat and I'll pan it to the left just to kind of recreate drums, because I was a drummer. I play drums as well, so either open-handed drummer or a cross-handed drummer. I would just pan this to the left. If I'm feeling saucy, I'll just pan to the right. But for some reason, I just panned this hi-hat 2, which is probably just an accent. Fine. There it is. Okay, so yeah, it's just a just a little accent that I panned it to the left to kind of give it some, hey, what's going on over there? Of course, you got your open, which again, I panned down the middle. I just left it down the middle because in the actual track, if you look closely, I might pan in right here. It's automatically, he already had something going on with the left and right. So whenever you hear it, it goes to right and left, right and left, right and left. So I didn't want to affect that. So I left it in the middle to kind of keep its original art, its original form. So I didn't really touch it with that. I just put a compressor on it, and I just added a little bit of EQ, just kind of took out a little bit of the highs and what have you. And of course, we move on to the snare. Of course, the snare is mostly on the right side. Boom, like that. He also has it faded like that. And it's already something nice. Now, one of my favorite parts of this whole track is the snares. We have 2 snares. One is a nice dry snare, very dry. And then the next one is to give it a little more oomph, which is the second. I just made it, gave it some reverb, gave it some delay, some slap back, if you will, and just like this, every other hit, one, and the next one will be it, boom. So just to give a little bit of oomph. And then for that, I just put a compressor, and then I just added a reverb and delay on here. This is one of the songs I wasn't side chaining just yet. So all these are mostly right on the track, all the effects. So next we move on to the 808, 808-2. We got 2 808s in this one. I added a soft clipper on this one. So I was trying that out. Basicworks Beats showed me a little bit of the soft clipper, how to mess with that. I'm actually doing like a little effect that he was showing me when I was watching his YouTube video. Make it a little nasty. So I threw that on both of those. Same thing, left and right. And these are the little wood tablets. It's almost like you hear on a metronome. I just threw on some delay, some pan delay, to kind of get a little more effect on there, and to give it some dimension and some dynamics there. And of course, you got your old sound. I think it was like what? I think it's originally like a 808 something. I remember on GarageBand that I would have that sound. But yeah, that is technically the beat right there. That is basically the beat right there. That's the beat all together. Yeah. That second snare hit, bah! It just hits so good. I don't know why. All right, so let's just dig into the vocals now. Again, if you're curious or have any questions on the beats, or if you have any questions on if you'd like me to mix your stuff for you as well, I'm really open for that. I'm open to do some mixing or mastering for y'all. If really, you shoot me a DM, you shoot me an email, or hit me in the comments below. I'd be glad to help you out. We can just talk and have a conversation to see if maybe we're even good for working with each other. Maybe if we're good with working with each other. I can't speak today. If you have any questions about the beat or mixing, what have you, or if you'd like me to work with you, let me know. I'm glad to help. Moving on to vocals, we're going to zoom back in here real quick. Yeah, girl! Of course, I'm not sidechaining here yet. So anybody who is looking at me like, oh, you're not sidechaining, well, yes, I just started sidechaining, and this song has been recorded for, like, it's been recorded for like months now. Lots of months. So it's been a while. I've learned things since then. So give me a break. So here we go. Just to see that fuck face of grace in our place. I swear there's nothing like it. Ooh-wee. When I'm in there, hey, I'm on that drug. I'm on that drug. I wanted, I needed that drug. I need that fucking and sucking and licking and sticking. I was rolling, was talking. Come on and give it to me. Shit me, just give it for free. Raping, baby, playing on my phone. Now when I text, all I want is sex. So fuck your main, fuck your ex. So that's technically the vocals right there, like a little taste for you. And of course, we're gonna break it down once again, just like everything else on this little series we got going on here. Inside look on everything. So as I see on here, I have my auto tune. I have a little homemade de-esser, my EQ, compressor. I have a sound goodenizer, give it a little more high end, a little brightness. I have a gain reduction 2 from Joey Sturgis. Which is actually pretty good for singing vocals. And of course a reverb 2 and a delay 2 from compliments of FL Studio. So most of this here. Just to see that fuck face of grace in our place. I swear there's nothing like it. Ooh-wee. When I'm in there, So the EQ here, it takes out a good amount of my lows. It takes a good amount of my lows out. Gets that little boxy area of my vocals out as well, so not too boxy. It still gives me some of the lows here, so I'm not completely sounding like I'm on a telephone or a radio, AM radio. And of course the highs are built really high. Everything kind of like balances everything out with what I have going on in my chain here. So of course everything's like my high is pretty high. It's pretty high here, but everything in here is supposed to counteract. So the Maximus I use as a de-esser. Basically I just comp off any high end that comes over here.
Just to see that fuck face of grace in our place.
So it automatically just takes it off. Just takes it out, and that's about it. Of course, you have the goodenizer.
Just to see that fuck.
That's it without it.
Just to see that fuck face of grace in our place. I swear there's nothing like it.
So it does do quite a bit on it, but I don't have it. I'm not like maxing it out. I have it kind of up there, but it's not too crazy. So yes, I have the Maximus on here, which you can use any other FL Studio. If you don't have a de-esser, this also works as well. Quick thing, you just go to your highs there, mess around with these a little bit, what works for you, and of course comp off, which then just comps off that high, those S's, that takes us off, so I'm just going to play without it.
Just to see that fuck face of grace in our place. I swear there's nothing like it. Oh,
Turn it off.
when I'm in there,
Even when I muted it, it still cut it off and made it a little more boxy. So I just comp off, and you know it works for me. I just turn it on.
Just to see that fuck face of grace in our place.
So I don't know if you saw it, but if you zoom in, it was around this. It's around. Can't see. It was like maybe -10. That was coming in just enough to kind of like hurt the ears a little bit, kind of give it a little fatigue, but the Maximus just takes that all off. Anyway, so right now I did something with my computer, and for some reason it did this to my gain reduction too. I don't know why. I think since I switched from the monitor to my laptop here, I meant to zoom in because I'm getting old, so I could see things. And since I did that, it did this, but then I went back and I made it normal, and it still kept it like this. So it still works. It's just that now everything is over here. So as you see, like to adjust a knob, my breath knob, it's down here, not actually on the breath knob. So if y'all know how to fix this, I would appreciate if y'all leave a comment below to let me know how to fix it, because otherwise I don't know how to. But anyway, gain reduction. I'm gonna zoom out real quick. Yeah. Okay, so the gain reduction 2 from Joey Sturgis. It's mostly for metal vocals and for like really hard singing, which it does work. It's really, really nice. But it also works, of course, for any type of singing. For instance, I've used this for almost all my recordings that I put out. I don't use a lot of the sleigh. This is since I've recorded this months ago, I actually dialed back the sleigh even more to about 32 to like 28, which is just, you know, kind of throwing up the gain a little more. So if I played this now.
Just to see that fuck face of grace in our place. I swear there's nothing like it. Oh, when I'm in there,
So the sleigh kind of adds more gain and adds more, like, pushes it. You know, it's supposed to push it a little more. It makes it a little grinier. But I also have it on a light mode here. I forgot about that. I keep it light, and I've been taking it a little light. It just adds a little more gain to it. Let's go through the other vocals. That has a backing. Yep, so the backing vocal. And of course my harmonies. Ad-libs.
Just to see that fuck face. On a place. Ooh, baby. I'm on that drug. That drug. I needed that drug.
this one I started doing backing. I didn't really do much with the gathering, or at the gathering I didn't do much backing vocals. So this one I started adding more vocals to kind of get a little more oomph to it. Excuse me. Add a little more oomph to it. And of course right here my ad-libs, which at the moment they're just straight up ad-libs. There's no effects on them.
14.
Ad-lib.
Needed.
And of course I had some riffing in there.
Just to
Pause.
see that fuck. Just to see that fuck face.
So apparently I'm a dirty boy. So for the riffing, which is mostly your backing vocals, which is what I call it, I just added basically just took the same plugins, the same kind of chain, and I just threw it on as a riffing, and I kind of just dubbed it in the back or panned it left and right, which I think, looking back at it now, because again this was recorded months ago, this thing is kind of lazy. So right now is a learning point for me, going back through this, because I'm working on new stuff right now, and what I'm figuring out is, there's so many effects you can do with it, there's so many things to give it more dynamics and make it more interesting, which, the newest song I'm going to be releasing after this, after, The Drug, I'm going to be releasing the EP with all the other songs I've been releasing on top of them, on there, which of course I'll be releasing 2 weeks after The Drug. So we got The Drug on February 26th, and then we have my EP, which will be Clean at Being Dirty. It's my second EP. That'll be released 2 weeks after that, which is what, February 11th, I think, on a Friday. Can't remember the day it was. But of course, you'll see it as well very soon, as well as the other music I'm working on as far as covers. And just, just listening back to your old stuff, it's kind of funny. You're just like, wow, like, maybe it's because I wasn't thinking outside of the box versus, because I've sat down, I sat down and taken a break from mixing for a second, and now I come back and I'm doing stuff that I think would sound cool, and I'm going back and listening to this, and it's just like, wow, this is different, and I can't believe, I thought this was good. You have to kind of force yourself to make it work and push it out, because right now, after going through this with y'all, I want to redo it so bad, but it's already been done. I've already put it up, months ago to release to y'all. So it just goes to show that, like, you just gotta keep going, and you're gonna keep learning. So yeah. So this has been, I'm gonna cut this now. This has been the inside look. We're gonna play it one more time for y'all, all together. And you can let me know in the comments below what you think of it, and if you are excited about it. One more listen. Sorry, let's take a nice middle grab, and let's go for it.
I'm on that drug. I'm on that drug. I wanted, I needed that drug. I need that fucking and sucking and licking and sticking. I want it, was talking. Come on and give it to me. Shimmy, just give it. I should raving, baby. Playing on my phone. Now when I text, all I want is sex. So fuck your man. Fuck your ex.
Alright, so let me know what you think in the comments below. I am Wade Elliott. Thank you again. This has been another Inside Look. See you later.